How are the Golden State Warriors this good while still missing a player that can give them 20 to 25 points a night? Well, that's easy. It's what championship teams do. Hey, what's happening, everyone? This is Switch Culture. The Warriors are currently one of the hottest teams in the league with a 9-1 record over their last 10 games. This number is eclipsed only by the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are on a 13-game win streak with a number of notable wins against the Knicks, Pistons, Grizzlies, and the Boston Celtics. Quite comparably, the Warriors have beaten the Bucks, Knicks, Rockets, and now the Detroit Pistons over that same time period. While the Cavs have been healthy, Jonathan Kuminga remains sidelined, and although he was expected to be back to begin the Warriors' homestand against the Pistons, Anthony Slater reported earlier in the day that he wouldn't be available. This led to a lot of speculation by fans on social media regarding what's really going on with that situation. Who's responsible for this, and what's the most sensible non-conspiratorial reason that could be driving this? While he could have helped against the Pistons, the Warriors managed to get the win in a game that was close from start to finish. While some might say, well, it's just the Pistons, prior to facing the Warriors, they were one of the 4 hottest teams in the league, up there with the Warriors with an identical 8-2 record in their last 10. So beating the Pistons at the height of their best stretch, with Cade averaging the highest number of points by a Piston in the last 24 years, is a pretty big deal. Plus, why did Steph Curry get teed up? Let's try to unpack the details. Before that, however, be sure to like the video and subscribe to Switch Culture for the most analytical and entertaining NBA content on the planet. Now get ready. You're about to get Gui Santos summarizes everything about the Warriors and the rest of the league on this play. After fighting through that box out by arguably the Pistons' best defender in Ausar Thompson, he finishes the putback and gets the and one. And that look from Malik Beasley sums up everything about the rest of the league when it comes to the Warriors. Santos came off the bench and not only gave the Warriors 15 scorching hot points in his 25 minutes of play, but he only needed 8 shot attempts to get there while grabbing 6 rebounds along the way. The best part, however, is that he had a team-high plus 14 and was by far the biggest boost off the bench. They don't win this game without Santos. In the aftermath of that play by Santos, Steph Curry got pushed by Isaiah Stewart as he was walking close to the Pistons bench. For those of you who don't know, Stewart is the player who got elbowed in the mouth by LeBron James a couple of years back. Now we know why. That aside, however, Curry was calling the and one as a taunt to the Pistons, and all that he'd clearly overcooked the beef stew. After the push, Curry got into his face, and former Warriors Lindy Waters III and Dennis Schroeder stepped in to break things up. Both Stu and Curry got teed up after the incident. It wasn't just Curry he went after though, as he committed a hard foul against Jimmy. While the refs didn't consider this a flagrant, there was definitely enough follow-through on the elbow to show Stewart's ill intentions. Clearly he knew his targets as he went after the top 2 players on the team. At the end of the day, and his career, the only thing Isaiah Stewart will be known for is being a part of the squad that went 0-28, owning the league's record for the worst stretch of professional basketball in the history of the game, and getting elbowed by LeBron James. To start the game, Steve put Quentin Post into the starting lineup as Paz was still sore, missing his 2nd game in a row. Now, typically we've seen Buddy Hield go in as the starting shooting guard in such a scenario, but Kerr instead went with the floor-stretching big man who's been playing some great minutes at the 5 while moving Moody to the 2-guard spot. Post has been shooting it much better from a distance than Hield, with 43% from downtown compared to Buddy's 34% over their last 15 games. It also gives Draymond Green a bit of a break from playing that position. Cade Cunningham had a bit of an interesting night, dropping 31 and 9. No, those aren't 9 assists, those are 9 turnovers. Unfortunately for him, being guarded by Moses Moody, who had 3 steals, and Gui Santos can do that to a player. Moody now leads the league in win percentage as a starter, winning 94% of such games. Simply put, the Warriors are much better when he starts. It's amazing what consistent minutes can do for a player. One of the biggest stories of the night, however, is Jimmy Butler's takeover. Starting with an assist from Moody on a triple, something Butler's not done so well since he became a Warrior, he made 2 of 4 tonight on his way to a massive 15-point total in the third quarter. This specific shot actually wasn't even for Jimmy. This was a play made for a Moody 3. Now from the jump, Jimmy is going to be looking for Curry. However, we see Curry point at Moody, indicating that's who they want to run the play for. He hits Post in the post, and if you guys didn't realize, we're seeing Post get a lot more opportunity to dribble and bring the ball up. This means that Kerr trusts his handles, and we see the benefit of that here on this particular play. Instead of passing it right back to Jimmy, he puts it on the floor and initiates the play. Draymond cuts to the basket to pull his defender out of the way to open up for Moody, and Curry goes to set a screen for Moody to lose his defender. Steph doesn't set a great screen, but that's okay because Post is supposed to get a second screen for Moody. Still, Cade navigates that screen effortlessly, although that probably should have been called a foul. The play is now broken, but Moody hits Jimmy with the pass, and he takes and makes the shot. The Pistons defense aren't really guarding him from 3 because he's not a knockdown shooter. So him hitting that shot is a big deal and echoes what he said in a prior interview.
And I hope that that's contagious, knowing that just because it plays for you does not mean that it's your shot. So that's when we turn the corner.
After that hit from Stewart early on in the game, Jimmy was feeling it and went into an ISO possession only to pull up and disrespectfully drain a triple in his face.
Yes, in the face!
While we didn't get a night-night from Curry, it went down to the wire, and both Moody and Draymond forced a Cade turnover that could have completely switched the outcome of the game had they not gotten the stop. This game, like many others, came down to the last few possessions, and that's left a lot of fans wondering when JK will return. Steve had some comments from earlier today as well as in the post-game regarding the holdup. First, the update.
He scrimmaged just now. We just had a scrimmage downstairs, and he looked good, and conditioning is getting there, and so he's feeling positive, and that's a good sign. He's had a couple good days in a row, and so we'll keep going. As far as the other stuff, I just talk to him, check in with him, see how he's doing, and remind him of the things that I'm going to ask of him, when he gets back. So. Should be soon, and we're excited to get him back.
Now, if you've already seen these clips, that's great, but let me see if I can add some value. Basically, JK scrimmaged a couple times and seemed to be doing fine. Kerr had a talk with him about what he expects from Kuminga when he returns to the team, so I suppose we're now wondering what these expectations might be. A reporter following the game asked Kerr an interesting question. Interesting only because it's the question that everyone else has been asking.
How do you see him fitting back into the rotation alongside Jimmy Butler?
Turns out the answer is even more interesting than the question.
It's a great question. It's a really difficult thing when you are playing really well and then you have a key guy coming back. I think the idea is just bring him along slowly, play him in short bursts, help him get his rhythm back. We've got to keep playing Gui Santos. We've got to keep playing the guys who are helping us win right now. And so usually this stuff has to kind of play out, and so we'll hope that it plays out.
Now I agree with Steve here. Putting a player who's been injured for 2 months right back into the rotation with solid minutes when the team has been playing well without the player is probably not going to go well. Now, while he mentions JK as a key player, unperturbed, he name drops Gui Santos as a player who will be getting JK's minutes. While I agree that we should keep playing Santos, it seemed a bit unnecessary and marginalizing to what JK contributed to the team before he was undercut by a Grizzlies player while JK was making a defensive play. Over his last 5 games prior to injury and including the game he was injured, JK put up 24 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1 steal while shooting 50% from 3 in 29 minutes, playing both ends of the floor, playing less than 30 minutes and putting up 24 points on 55% efficiency from the field. 65% true shooting shouldn't be scoffed at or marginalized. We know he'd prefer Kuminga to be a role player. But how about we give some credit where it's due and give the team scoring that it desperately needs to get some separation from these crunch time games and give him some runway to get up to playoff intensity by the time we actually get there. My initial thought a week ago regarding the delay in Kuminga's return had to do with the fact that the team was winning, and it's possible that Steve Kerr doesn't want to mess with the current chemistry of the team. Well, there's your answer. Considering that JK's missed a total of 30 games, likely to miss a few more after having been sidelined since January 4th on what was reported as a grade 3 ankle sprain, I understand the frustration. If you don't think it has anything to do with him being marginalized, grade 3 ankle sprains take 3 to 12 weeks to recover. Considering JK is a rather athletic player, they may be playing it safe in using up the full 12-week time frame. It's been 9 weeks and 1 day since the injury. You let me know which of these makes sense to you, or if there's a third option you would consider. Let me know what your thoughts are on what happened in the matchup and, of course, how you feel about Kerr's comments. Post your thoughts in the comments below. Just be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on all your notifications so you don't miss any of my latest uploads. Thanks for watching. Till next time. Swish!